Hello, today is March 27, 2024. It's a SIG Node CI group meeting. Welcome, everybody. We are in test phase right now, so not much supposed to be happening. I know there is a one critical bug was found on Windows that is being looked at right now by SIG Windows. Plenty of people jumping on that. Besides that, yeah, I also wanted to highlight this just before test freeze, this PR was merged. Yeah, you can see on agenda, link on agenda. Actually, let me share my screen. I think it might be easier. Yeah, so some time ago we found a bug that when dbus was restarted, and after that kubelet wouldn't recover from that, and graceful shutdown wouldn't work. So we fixed it in a couple places, and kubelet now can survive dbus restart, but apparently the whole system cannot. So we've been running this test on containerd and course image, and it was working fine. But on cryo, I think with Fedora, it was having problems. So we now remove this test case. I'm sad about it because we're losing some test coverage, and we keep talking about edge case testing and stuff like that. But at the same time, I realize that dbus restarting is pretty much a user error. So if you're not recovering from that, I don't think it's a big deal for now. So yeah, once systemd will support dbus reload, then we can revive this, but I don't think it will happen anytime soon. So again, I don't want anybody to be discouraged by that. So it's a very thoughtful decision to remove this test, but and I encourage you to test edge cases as much as possible.
One comment. So it's not just about systemd. All applications that work with dbus should handle like drop of the connection. So, and that could be a bigger problem. And that's actually what we faced, I believe. So some of the services just like when they lose connection, they start to consume more resources than usually. So, and that slowed down everything on the test system.
Yeah, but okay. It's still system wouldn't be stable, so we don't recommend to restart it. Thank you for comment. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, second, I think Anish, was you adding this agenda item?
Hey, yeah.
So we've been
I
discussing
was
what the status of this release, and yeah, I think Anish was looking into status of the release, right?
yes. So I was looking at our test grid, and I was trying to see like which tests are flaky for this release, and I was trying to find to see if there's already any bugs, and actually Paco had already filed an umbrella bug that I've linked here. So I think this umbrella bug has all the tests that were flaky for this release. And these tests are causing like flaky in all in this release blocking dashboard, as well as kubelet containerd and cryo dashboard.
We have an existing issue with the memory metrics one. I don't know if those people are on the call, but yeah, I remember there was someone looking at those. But it's, yeah.
Anish, did you look at the subtests, like the subcategories? I remember we had at least one test lanes that was completely red, but we believe that it's a configuration problem, not a test problem.
Yes. Let me open up.
Yeah, if you want to share the screen, you can, but let me know.
Yeah, so across most of the test grades, this same set of tests they were calling flakes, but yeah, I think on the cryo side, there was few like red. Let me share my screen. Yeah, this one. I think. I don't think we have a bug tracking for this. I'll file one for this.
Yeah, so what might help is maybe you can extend what you did and for all this like primary tabs, find bugs and the failing lanes, so we can have some kind of report for the release. Like this is what we are coming with into the 130 release. And this is what we can share on main SIG Node meeting. So for the next release, we can allocate more time. Maybe somebody can help with flake tests and with failing configurations.
Yes.
Okay, I can work with you on that. Thank you.
Just one question. I believe Kevin had a PR to mark some of the tests as flaky to prevent them from being flagged and preventing, release from going ahead. Has that been merged, Kevin, or it's still in progress?
Yeah, Anish actually was showing that one. I don't think I have a job for cryo. It actually, one question I have about device plugins. I noticed that we have a dedicated job for actually not device plugins, but the manager job. We have a dedicated test lane for all those, but then we also have them in serial. I was wondering, like, are we getting much by having kind of both tests? Because sometimes I'm seeing like the serial tests, we're skipping a lot of them because we don't have the right NUMA alignment or NUMA configuration for these jobs. And I don't know for the memory manager metrics, but it is some. I did when Ed and I were looking into the cryo serial tests. I was noticing that we had a lot of those jobs that run long, and there also a lot of them are skipped.
I think the difference is, I might be wrong here, but as far as my memory helps me, in the serial tests, we don't have systems that provide multi-NUMA, but in the lanes where we are running resource managers, that is kind of ensuring that we have that it's running on a system that has multi-NUMA support. That's the difference between the two.
Yeah, I guess my question is there really a point to have those jobs running on the serial test lane?
I don't historically remember why they were added in the serial, so that's why I wasn't comfortable removing it when I believe I introduced the resource manager lane. But I kind of agree. I think we can potentially remove them from serial if everyone's okay with it.
There is a thing here that if we remove them from serial, then someone that uses the Kubernetes repository to test it against his local machines or her local machines, then they will lose them, correct? So what?
No, there's hold on, let me just go ahead and share, and I can show what I'm talking about. Can I get screen share? It's pretty easy to see. In this case, I agree with you, or I would agree with you in most cases that we want to make sure that we have test coverage. But what I think what Swati and I are saying is that there is right here we have
So
no.
yeah, so I think it's the same set of tests that run on two separate jobs with kind of different hardware setups.
Yeah, and so these have like NUMA and other stuff set up, so all these are running. But if you go to the serial jobs, you'll kind of see we have a lot of these are being skipped. What's interesting about these is we're actually running these tests somewhat, and then I think we skip, like in this case, CPU capacity, we're actually running partial of this test, so it says skipped. But you'll notice that like we have some of these memory manager ones we skip, others we don't. So that was why I was wondering if there was the topology manager. I think most of these are skipped.
Do we run those tests in the other pipeline, in the resource managers?
Yeah, we do. At least, yeah, these are not being, I don't think these are skipped. And then I think we're actually running these with two different types of operating systems. If I remember what this 2 out of 2 means. But anyway, that's not really, I mean, that was just something I was curious about. I did open up a PR to kind of try to move, or I moved them out of the serial and just kind of left them here. But there is one point is we're actually not covering these with cryo. So, and we might, if we do that, we may want to have like a resource manager on the cryo side, just to make sure that we're actually. Oh no, actually we do. I lied. It looks like we do have these on the C group V1 side. But anyway, that was just something I was noticing because a lot of the memory manager ones, like we can mark them as flaky and move them to, like this is the job for cryo for C group V1. We could mark these as flaky and move them here. But I was curious about whether or not like we should just have them in their own lane in general, but
I think it makes sense to have them in their own lane. I think perhaps it was an attempt to not remove them from where they were originally present. So I think it's high time we can move it. Can you point me to that PR where you're trying to remove them from the serial lane so I can take a look?
yeah, I just linked it in the chat.
Perfect, thank you.
One thing I noticed that metrics test for memory manager actually fails in serials, flakes, but it doesn't on that manager tests. So there could be some like corner cases that we would lose if we move them out of the serial.
Yeah,
But
I
that
think
needs to be investigated. Yeah.
yeah. So I think Francesco is working on the PR, and I've been reviewing that PR. I think what is happening is it's some test in container manager that is not removing the pods, or that's essentially not cleaning up the pods that were created by the test. So because of that, we are getting kind of metric values corresponding to those kind of leaked pods. So we need to ensure everything is cleaned up properly, and because it's running as part of the serial lane, we are seeing the impact on certain jobs and not on, say, the other one, the resource manager one, for example. So we're working through that. Kind of, it's still in the review process.
Okay, that explains. Thank you.
Yeah, while doing that, let's also make sure that CI jobs for managers are running. I remember we had troubles with them because we have serial CI test, pre-submit test, but if we will move everything to that, yeah, Actually, you're right. I mean, if they all skipped, it doesn't really matter, but some of them may still run. So let's just double check that CI jobs are working.
And I guess I didn't add it to the agenda, but thanks to Ed, our cryo serial jobs are actually looking good. That was related to your Sergey, your point about bringing up the dbus one. Once we removed that job from there, we're actually now getting back the cryo serial tests again. They're running and actually displaying results, so that's good.
It was fun. Thank you.
I wonder how you found it. It's must have
Well, it's a like simple. I actually did what you suggested. I just bisected like those jobs, just divided them like in half and then in half and half. It's like 3/4 steps, and I found the dbus thing.
perfect. So next thing is somebody added an item about dealer Linux test, fix warnings.
Yes, I have added it. It was about a test was failing, so I have pushed the commit. I think it got a review, but I don't know if it's okay to be approved or should be investigated more. Yes.
I don't know if this will fix the failures of the test, but it will resolve the warning.
Yeah, so for my investigator, I mean, doing this, it seemed that it allowed to overcome an issue where one container was failing, I think, from my investigation. So I don't know if it is helpful to have it or it is better to find out perhaps there is an issue in the API server, and when there are a lot of when this rule is not being respected, then it is delaying things, and as a result, it fails some tests. So that's a good point, Kevin. So this is why I raised it, actually. But with tests I did with DIMP, I mean, it was green when this commit was present, and it was red when this commit was not present. So I don't know how we should proceed with that.
I think it's a good change. I just don't know if it's. I'm. What I've seen is there is the ohm killer for pod. There's that's the error, but I've noticed it seems to be kind of related to C groups, whether or not you're V1 or V2, and then I've seen it kind of depended on the container runtime. So I guess it makes sense if it's maybe. I don't know. I think more investigation on the root cause of that one would be needed. But I mean, I think that warning I have seen in other jobs, but usually they run without issues. So I don't know if it's related to that.
Okay. Do you think it's critical enough to merge after test phase? Because change seems small. I
It was
can.
this pipeline that we have put to test. I mean, this was the reason that we pushed this commit.
Yeah, I would think we need to wait till branch will reopen and then merge it. It's already approved, so we'll just take time. So Kevin, to your point that we will need to understand the root cause. I mean, let's see if it will actually fix the test. If it will, then it's a new data point, and
Super.
I cannot think of any idea why it would fix the test. Okay, so let's wait till reopening of branch. Okay, with that, I wanted to go into triage, CI triage. Oh, I need to share my screen. Okay, we didn't triage for a while. This board. So many things. Okay. Let's go. In progress. Node memory fix the metrics test. Okay, this is what we discussed, right? Sorry about it. Somehow it's okay. This is work in progress. Is it still work in progress? Okay.
Yeah, it's I'm waiting on a fix probably in Cryo 1.30 for this one.
Yeah, this is the PR I mentioned earlier.
This needs review, right? Is it already assigned to somebody? Swati, is it to
Yeah,
review?
I am assigned, yeah. I think Francesco is the owner of the PR, but I'm reviewing the PR.
Prior add user NS job configuration for nodes that will run user namespace jobs. Okay. So yeah, Rodrigo is assigned. It just needs a review. Controller test cancellation from key testing. I wonder if it's what is it in node? Yeah, I don't see how it is node.
I did notice that there were a lot of these end-to-end tests that got flagged and brought into this board. So I think that's why we have such a large amount of them. I don't know how it happened.
Somebody marked it as with node? Or bot did it? Okay. Versions, I think it's not related to our group at all. Don't use global variable for image. I think it's SIG testing, so I wouldn't sweat too much. This is work in progress. It's old link. Okay. Kubeproxy new API. I think it's unrelated to this group. So moving away. Wow, every SIG was touched. Eviction manager. That's a failing test.
I mean, I brought this up to SIG Node, but yeah, basically, sorry, the main SIG Node meeting. The thing I've noticed is that the stats is best effort, and sometimes it will fail, and then when it fails, we actually evict the pod for where the stats failed. And I guess there were questions about, I think Murnau brought up whether we should look into ways for populating the cache, or should we, I was wondering if we should fall back to like a quality of service for the pod as like a default mechanism, because what I was seeing, at least when I was running the disk tests, the separate file system and split file system, that sometimes the disk stats were failing together, and then we were evicting whatever pod we got to first, and that was causing a lot of failures. It seems it's not as flaky in the CI, but you'll notice it sometimes.
Is it test related specifically? I feel like it's a product issue, right?
Yeah, I don't know why it was labeled as a test.
Yeah, I think it needs to be. Yeah, it's already marked as bug as well. I remove then. So select the GA. This is not related to this board. Pick some unit tests for Windows. Okay, somebody looking at it already. And Ed, you also looking?
No, I think I triaged it and
I see.
GitHub assigned me like automatically.
Okay, so it's assigned to Claudio. Remove PC protection when pod reaches a completed state. Yeah, so this is not a test issue. So unit tests. Okay. Is there any node related? API server, kubectl. Kubelet, Kubelet CM, and volume manager. Anybody wants to look at Kubelet CM?
You can assign me. I will look because it's related to the maintainer of that code.
Here you go. Oops. In progress right now.
Yeah, I think I saw PR like fixing it. Just need to link the issue to the PR. It's
Okay.
already fixed.
Okay. Dump LPD from 0816 to 0817. Yeah, no explanation here. It's already assigned to somebody, so I will just go into needs approval. And once we'll unfreeze, we can do it. There's a reflector matrix with feature gate informer matrix. Feature. The feature we don't need to look at in this meeting. CRA price staging repository. Okay, it's work in progress. And it's not related to this group. Yeah, I don't know how this got here.
That's maybe my fault because at some point I click on this add cards and add some from there, but probably I shouldn't do that. And that's what I do for another board, but this one probably is special. By the way, how the issues or PRs are actually end up in that triage column.
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Add new static policy, spread physical CPU preferred options. Okay, this is a feature code. Statewide CI advisor. Oh, okay. So this is what you brought onto the meeting yesterday. It's a product feature. This is what we discussed. And I will put a needs approver, but it will be like merged, right? Well, let's unhold. Put a hold. Who put a hold on it? The selector. Not related to this group. Okay. Still have plenty to go through. Looking at time. Maybe we can switch to bug triage to just check that that not too many bugs right now, and nothing critical, and then we can continue next meeting. Peter, what do you think? Can you take over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, let's go to the board. Let me share my screen. Do I have permission? Oh, I do. All right. So here we have our, I'm going to go to the node PR board. So yeah, there's a handful to triage, and then maybe some that could be delegated for
Wait, this is a
reviewers.
PR triage. That's 2 bugs.
Oh, so true. You have a link to the bug.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
I only have the, oh, thank you.
Oh, and you have had it actually on below in your links.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did. It's just in a weird spot. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Parallel pod deletion makes keep parallel stuff forever. Hmm. See. This kind of So it's about static pods. It's interesting that they're going, I mean, I guess there really isn't a way to delete the static. I guess you could recreate the file, and that might be a little bit more idiomatic for static pod recreation. Um,
Yeah, we actually need to understand what they want.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they want this case to like work, but it's kind of hacky. Like they're going behind the kubet's back, deleting a pod, and then also calling delete on the API. Right. So like I almost feel like we should suggest that they like delete the static pod manifests, and then the qubit will sort of reconcile that on its own and not go behind the qubit's back. I think probably, I'm not sure we should accept it, but I'll leave it, put it in information for now. Okay, does anyone have anything on this?
No, that's one.
Cool. All right. Kennedy.
Yeah, we may even have a PR for that already.
Yeah, and this looks like a test thing anyway, so it should be, yes, it looks like this should be done, actually. Yeah, so this. Oh wait, one test job. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Just kidding. But I can accept it, and someone can hopefully come in and fix the rest of it. Okay. Node resources.
Looks like there's already people assigned. Maybe we could just accept it. think we've talked about this at one point.
Yeah.
It's also seems to be network related.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. It seems in part, but I think it's also in part like node resource. But yeah, we can accept it. It's accepted, right? Okay. I'll try that. Open a couple more.
I think you have to also move the option.
Oh, do you have to do both? For sure. Well, might as well just move it on the board. Okay, thank you. Apologies due to missing the zone label. This is in 127. Accepted. Okay, and we have an assignee, so we just need to. Oh, and there's this potentially fix. Oh, Antonio said it should be fixed by that.
Yeah, let's close it, and if it will reemerge, it's fine. Thank you.
All right. No assignees. Patrick. All right. This is kind of a feature, I think.
Yeah, it feels like a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be like kind of addressed in part of the cap.
And we remove kind bug as well.
Yeah. Okay. This looks more bug-like. Ed, are you looking at this?
Yes, but it's not reproducible. Even Patrick cannot do that. So I will keep trying, but cannot promise I can find it, because I run this test case like, I don't know, 20 times in a row. No luck.
That sucks. Well, good luck. Yeah, I'll move it to triage, but and you can just, you know, if it's unreproducible, then maybe it's just never there an issue.
Yeah, well, I'm going to look at the code. Maybe I will
Yeah,
find out
maybe the
why
factors
this
can help.
happened. But if Patrick would post the whole thing, the trace back, because it's just half of the story. The another half, which actually caused the race, is not here, and he doesn't have it anymore.
Bummer. Okay. Oh yeah, good luck with that. That's annoying.
Does it require special hardware, this test tool?
Sorry?
Does this test require special hardware to test it? Or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I could give it a try. if I'm more lucky.
Yeah.
Would you
That
like
would
me
be good.
to assign you,
Yeah, I can.
or just you guys are like,
I have a machine. I can do plenty of tests and see if I can find more data points, perhaps.
cool, thank you. All right. Yes. Well, this is quite similar to the CPU set issue as well, right? I don't know. Pod fails to start because it's not. Oh no, this is a little bit different actually. I'm gonna guess that the operating system is going to be important here. They are on Kubernetes 125, so I don't know if anyone's mentioned, yes, that we've already mentioned this. We also have a bunch of people interesting that this person reported it and it says that they couldn't reproduce it.
I mean, if there is no repo, let's just close it.
All right. In-place CPA.
Just for time, there's one issue I think we should probably go on. I linked it just to bring awareness. I think Sergey already talked about it, but I want to make sure. I guess this group knows about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sergey did mention it. Did you want to say anything in particular about it? I feel like SIG Windows is taking a look at it. So I don't know if there's any action that we particularly need to do, but did you have anything particularly you wanted to talk about with it?
No, I mean, I don't know who's taking it yet. I guess it's SIG Windows.
Yeah, there is Slack conversation in SIG Windows, and I believe
Okay.
you can.
I haven't joined that one. The good news is you can reproduce it with a pre-submit to test pull Windows. I do think maybe we should, after this, we should consider some kind of lane for Windows, because this one just slipped. Because I don't think we test Windows path at all on any PRs.
That was suggested in the previous comments of this ticket of running pre-submits on Windows.
Yeah, I think it was missed. Unfortunately, I thought, yeah. Guess if we long story is, if we ever have a question on Windows, this one's actually failing on the unit test for validation. So we would have caught this if we would have run the test pull CI Windows on this PR. So yeah. Oh well. I guess.
Yeah.
If we don't fix it, Sergey, soon, should we revert it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. It's a big PR, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is a validation for default of logs for pods. Sorry, the default log location of our logs pods, and we default that, but I think the default that we set for Windows is breaking validation.
Yeah, I think we just added additional validation on a path that already we were using, or like we had defaulted to in Linux, and I I think that leaked into the Windows because they don't even use the forward slash, use backslashes in Windows path. So I'm assuming there probably is some code that needs to be changed here. I'm wondering if this one is fixing a test or is fixing.
They're not saying there's any. That thread was all about why we can't enable the pre-submit because there are a bunch of failures.
Totally. Well, does anyone here want to take a look at this and help out SIG Windows, or do we want to leave it up to them to sort of deal with it?
Yeah, I asked on the Slack if you'll confirm that they will take it, then I'm all for that. If not, then we need to watch it. So in the end of this, I added a link to Slack, the last comment in the back.
Cool, thank you.
You can add it to or add me on this too, Peter. I think we can just remove the validation logic, right? We added a is absolute, and sort of think we can just remove it, but yeah, I'll take a look.
Yeah, I think it was security concern to not allow it to be relative path.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know.
Yeah, maybe we.
This one, what would else happen?
Well, we could also potentially just branch the path on Windows versus Linux, where on Linux we have it be this path, and on Windows we have a different one. Because they aren't using varlog pods on Windows. It's not the path in Windows. So.
Well, I think they might be based off of some weird Windows Go thing. Like
I guess my point is like we can store it internally in the kubelet as whatever path it ends up resolving to in Windows, with instead of storing varlog pods and having it fail the validation.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're not using that exact path, but yeah, I think that there must be some mutations going on the Windows side to add C : whatever that is. That or I mean not for this one, but anyway, I think people are on it.
Yep.
But let's make
Thanks
sure
for bringing it up.
CIs with Windows, we try to run that job for now because this one would have caught it. Like it's I think I posted on the issue that you can see it. Like I just went on a random PR, clicked it, ran it, and you can just see the failures pretty clear.
Yeah, it's tough that the job itself isn't green, because that makes you have to have some background knowledge on like which of the pre-submit.
Yeah, that's why it's useful to have those green. Yeah, it's kind of it's the problem we're always tackling. If not that, then maybe we should ask. Maybe like I guess I don't know. First, like having this in some kind of noticeable from the release informing or something. Because I think Windows, they're saying they've mentioned it. I think I saw some kind of SIG Windows operational readiness. It's ready to go. So we may want to have this included in some release dashboards. Make sure this, because this PR merged 3 weeks ago. We didn't notice it. A release. Anyway, sorry.
Cool. No worries. Yes, it is time. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Talk later.
Bye-bye.